What's good, favorite YouTuber of all time, Apex fucking Sapien? Let's get to it. Today's episode, how to understand anybody. So listen, a lot of times when you're going through life, you have to really understand people to get anything out of people. And it's not like a bad manipulative thing, but it's just a real life like thing. Once you get to understand people and see where they're coming from, where they're at, and how they got to where they're particularly going, then it's up to you to kind of figure out, get them to where they want to be next. And that's really the secret of sales. That's the secret of everything in life. That's the secret of relationships. Is figuring out how somebody got to where they are, and then upon meeting them, get them to the next place they want to go. And if you could do that with most of the people that you meet, you're gonna be very successful in life. Like it's almost like predetermined. It's almost like fate. And so in order to do that, you have to understand storytelling. You have to understand stories and how a story is constructed and how to build a story, and then how to influence and create better stories upon what you heard. And I came upon this conclusion just as working as a handyman, because as a handyman, I'm coming in and I'm like the scientist. I'm like the adventurer, and I'm coming to somebody's new home. It's like my new mission, my new adventure. And I meet these people, and then we just kind of have to connect. And I got to figure out, okay, what do you want? How can I help you? How'd you get here? And what can I do to get you to where you want to be? Using my tool sets or my skill set to get you to what the desired result that you want. And upon doing this over and over and over and over again, you kind of notice like commonalities with all people. And the biggest commonality that most people are looking for is like connections. They just want a connection with a human being. Like you'll be surprised. You'll be so surprised at how far you can get by coming in, asking a basic question. Hey, how you doing? How's your day going? How are you? Can I help you with something? And then shut the fuck up and just listen. Like seriously, that's it. Ask somebody a basic open-ended question and just shut the fuck up and listen. And then ask more questions and really sit there, stare at them, let them talk. And what you'll start to notice is like as they're talking, they're getting all these things out. It's therapeutic for them. Like, because most of the time when people are talking to other human beings, they don't really talk to listen. I mean, they don't listen to hear. They kind of just listen to see when you shut the fuck up so they can say what they want to say. But when you really sit there and you just listen, and then even after they get done talking, you sit there and just kind of absorb and really like just sit there and stare at them. And they're going to be like, well, what's next? Like, what's your opinion? And they'll start talking. They'll start talking to you. They'll start asking you things because they'll be so relieved for the first time in their life that somebody just let them speak uninterrupted without any judgment. And so often what most people find in life is that when they're dealing with like a stranger, especially like just a random person they just meet, they feel comfortable. Like if you give off this presence, like one of the things I'm starting to realize, and I had an older lady tell me this. I went to work with her doing a security job, and it's like a 71-year-old lady, and we're talking, and she gave me like a whole like Jerry Springer life story thing about her marriage and shit. I was like, holy fuck, this is fucking mad interesting. She's like, I don't normally tell this to anybody. He's like, I don't know why. I just felt like your aura, your energy, like it's just very zen-like and peaceful. I felt comfortable telling you, like you're not judging me. I'm like, nah, why would I judge you for? The fuck? I didn't have anything to do with it. I'm just listening like it's a cool story. It's interesting to see how you got to where you are and how you exist in this particular time period. And see, that's what you start to learn with like human beings is that they want to find a connection. They don't want to be used. Like people understand they're going to be used, but they want to feel like there's a reason for their being used. Like there's a greater purpose for us talking and communicating. And that's what you have to start to really relay to people is that this is a lifelong relationship that I'm dealing with you. I'm not trying to just get you for today. I'm looking like, hey, how can we work, communicate, and be like productive together for the rest of our lives? That's really what I'm looking at. And when you start coming in with that mindset, it's going to change your whole, like change on relationships in all factors, like in business, in sexual and like personal relationships, coaching, whatever the hell you're doing, job, whatever particular relationship that you got going on. When you start looking at it in lifelong chapters instead of just like today, or let me get money for this job. Let me get just fuck this girl for just tonight. When you stop thinking that, you start thinking, like you look at this girl and say, damn, how is it going to be like with this girl, not just in a year, but like 20 years? Is she caring? Is she nurturing? Does she look out for my best interest? Does she care? Does she even care about me? And when you start looking at it from that thing, you're like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't care how beautiful she is. Like, does the relationship make sense? Like, are we actually compatible as far as wanting to see each other win? Are we both enjoying each other's company? Does she really care about me? And when you start looking at relationships like that, you're like, man, it's not even worth like just fucking a girl for no reason. That's like so animalistic. Just sticking your dick in something, not thinking about it. That's so animalistic. You want to start looking more of a human perspective. And that's what humanity is. We're forward thinking, long-term projecting problem solvers. So I want to solve problems long before they get to me. So instead of worrying about a divorce, like a year, 2 years, or worrying about having a baby I didn't want, if I look at a girl and I start judging her on what I think she's going to be 40 years in the future, I'm more likely to make smarter decisions with my relationship choices. You just are. You're not going to be making booty call choices. And the same thing with business. Like, yeah, this guy, he's a sleaze bag, but I can make a quick bag with him today. How about, let's think about it. Do I really want to deal with this sleaze bag for 40 years? Is the quick bag I'm going to make with this guy today, is it worth my reputation and being attached to him when he does some stupid shit that brings himself down and brings everybody else down? Is it worth my credentials and my reputation to get fucked once he does some dumb shit? Because I'm going to be linked with this guy, especially if I make a big bag. Chances are no. So yeah, I probably don't want to do business with this guy. And so once you start looking at information and start looking at just life in those terms of a story, then you start to realize, oh, okay, there's many chapters to how many interactions I have with people. So instead of just thinking about just today, let me think about the whole entire book. What book am I writing? How do I want the book to end between me and this other person? Do I want to have a 40-year like friendship that grew where we both helped each other make money? We both had families. We helped build communities. We did great work, charitable work, made a lot of money together, helped a lot of people. When you start looking at the end game and then working yourself backwards, it makes life so much easier. Relationship before revenue. And so largely I'm trying to say, to be able to understand anybody, you have to understand your story, how you got from where you are and where you are currently and where you want to go in the future and what your future chapter is going to look like. And then start asking them questions. How did they get to where they are today? From little kids all the way up. And then figure out how they want to end their lives. And then once you start to figure it out, you can figure out how we can make our stories work together. What chapters can we link up to make a better story for the both of us? And see, people don't understand numbers. Stop trying to talk to motherfuckers in numbers when it comes to business. Teach them in stories. Explain to them in storytelling. Like, look, this is where you're at, man. And do you want to get to here? And all the choices you've been making got you where you are right now. And for the last blah, blah, blah years, you've been suffering in the same spot. Do you want to keep suffering in the same spot? Or do you want to take this new adventure into a new game that's going to get you the result that you want from your end of your story? And then the person going, hey, you know what? I kind of want to see where this new adventure goes. Because people love adventure. People's lives are so boring. There's very few adventurers out there in life. One of the things you got to understand is the reason people love stories is because they take them out of their mundane life. And so when you become the bright spot, the light, the catalyst for change in somebody's existence, when you open their eyes to a new possibility of what life could ever be, it changes like them, and they want to follow you. They want to see how your story ends, and they want to become a part of your story. And that's how you create movements. That's what history really is, nigga. Like, it's nothing more than that. And that's why I love this YouTube thing. I love the people who come and they support and they follow and they join in, they throw their little 2 cents in, because we're all riding together in this journey. You guys are riding with me. This is the story of Apex. And then hopefully you make your own story because you'll be inspired by my story. But it's simply, that's the secret to understanding anybody, is learn how to tell stories. It's very simple. Hook them in. Hey, look, you've been doing this for you've been doing this for how many years? It's been fucking up and it's not getting you where you want. Here, look, here's a cool adventure. I've done what you're trying to do. This is how I got to where I'm at. Now I want to help you because you can overcome this hurdle, and I'm going to teach you how to do it. And this is what it's going to look like once you accomplish what you want. This is what it's going to look like at the end. Do you like that end goal? Do you like that ending of the story, the ending of the chapter? That conclusion? If you do, follow along, bro. Let's go. You know, niggas, nobody can turn that down unless they're just stupid. And then they're a stupid person. Hey, you probably don't want them in your life anyway. But appreciate you guys for listening. Like, subscribe, share. Hit me up at apexsapient.com. I got to start getting some more consultations. I've been lacking. Appreciate you people. Bye.